this is one period I can tell you that the National Security Council had been held every Wednesday, if not on a Thursday maybe, very regularly to review what has been done and to give direction to what needs to be doing. It's the president who wanted East to be cleared first. And I can say this with a lot of, even if you look at some of the video interviews done by the defense personnel, this will come very clear. So having done that, the most crucial thing, you may have a first class army, first class navy, first class air force, a first class defense secretary, all that is fine, but you need someone to keep off the foreign pressure and intervention. You know, the LTT was very strong outside Sri Lanka, on ground. How? Because they are machinery of information and misinformation. Canvassing propaganda was, I mean, unbelievably strong. For 30 years they have mastered that art. They have made sure that they have got on to the major news organizations, major TV organizations, major radios. I mean, they were dominating. Government of Sri Lanka didn't have a chance to counter some of those misinformation that these people had spread. With those kind of propaganda activities, the foreign governments, foreign organizations, NGOs, you name it, and they were there for the LTT. I am not blaming them, because LTT did it so effectively to paint that Sri Lankans, or rather the Sinhalese for that matter, was a brutal ethnic community that they only knew to kill the Tamils. That was the picture that had been painted. So here you get Foreign Secretary of UK, the Foreign Minister of France, even India. India also had a huge issue because LTT had been so close to India, some of the agencies. The Indian government realized what they had done was a serious mistake, because when they killed Rajiv Gandhi, they lost their best Prime Minister. Then they started rethinking. But you needed someone on this side to ensure that this fight is taken on ground to the LTT. Here is the man who came in November 2005 with resolution. Remember when he presented this Mahinda Chintan in October 2005, long before he became the president, what did he say? I am going to ensure an honorable peace. Today we have it. There would have been two ways to do it. One, you would have been talking to the LTT to negotiate. Till cows come home, we would have been talking to them, and that's what they did. They started in Thimphu in early mid-80s. They talked to us. The government talked to them. Early 2006, twice in Geneva, once in Oslo. But what happened? In Oslo, they even refused to talk to us. So having done all that, you knew that path was not going to work out. He couldn't have been talking to them 2-3 years. They would have been strengthening themselves, and we would have had a huge difficulty on our hands. But he took a firm decision. No, we will militarily defeat them, having given them a chance to talk. Therefore, he had to ward off all the foreign intervention, all the foreign pressure. And I can quote two instances. 24th of April 2009, when India was on its elections, and the Tamil Nadu elections was in May 13th, if I remember right the date. Congress was having a difficulty because, you know, it's a Tamil dominated state, 60 million Tamils in Tamil Nadu. Obviously India has an interest. India has a well-meaning interest. I mean, it's not an interest that I think is a wrong interest. It's a right interest, because they think 60 million Tamils must be looked after. So there are people here, you know, our brethren, they have their people in India as well. So they were very worried about this. So they had to come to the government of Sri Lanka, made a very special request that they meet up with the president on the 25th of April. So quickly arrangements were made. Very high level delegation came here, met with the president. Myself and Gotabaya Rajapaksa there with the president to assist him if he needed. But I don't think he needed any assistance from us, because he was very emphatic. He simply said, we have suffered for the last 30 years. We cannot allow these people to go scot-free. 300,000 people are under hostage by the LTT, human shield. What we are trying to do is to somehow liberate these people. But I want to make sure that they are not harmed. Otherwise, this could have been finished earlier, but I didn't want to do that.
Can I
Yeah, sure, please.
Why did the Indian delegation come here? What were they specifically
Oh, they had a very important initiative. That is, elections were being held in Tamil Nadu. If the government of India were not seen to be doing something to stop what the rest of the world thought the massacre of the Tamils, which is wrongly termed, the Tamil population in Tamil Nadu would have never voted for the party in power, that is the Congress Party of India. So they had to come and tell HE, please stop this, please stop this. Those were the requests. But the president was so emphatic and used all his diplomatic skills and said, sorry, I cannot do that. At the doorstep of freeing these people, I cannot see this happening. 30 years we have suffered. Please don't ask me to stop this. Then of course there was this negotiation, and I think the president, if I remember right, he asked, all right my friends, what do you want me to do for the Congress party to win in Tamil Nadu? Then this request was made, at least stop the heavy weaponry. By that time the government has already made a decision that heavy weaponry will not be used, because had they used it, civilians would have been harmed. So it was almost hand-to-hand combat. That is the kind of thing. And that is what made India and Sri Lanka come strongly together. All the good work that three of us have been doing for some time came to this thing because they have such lot of understanding, such lot of empathy towards us. They did understand our point, and the government issued a statement on Monday after it was cleared by the Security Council that the government henceforth will not use heavy weaponry. And with that, the government of India was very strong, Congress party was very strong, and it is attributed that the win in Tamil Nadu was greatly supported by this decision of the government of Sri Lanka, because India was seen to be doing something, for the Tamils. That's one instance. Let me give you the second instance. There are many, but I just want to, I don't want to be cluttering this interview with all my experiences. I'll just tell you another instance. 29th of April, if I remember right, I make notes whenever I go for these meetings. At that meeting, very interestingly, who do we have? We have Mr. David Miliband, who is the Foreign Secretary of UK, Foreign Minister of UK, and then you have Bernard Kouchner, Foreign Minister of France. They met with the President. Their emphatic message was, stop this operation. I was so proud. I am so proud to be his secretary, because rarely do you get that opportunity to be part of this whole machinery where your leader, where your elected leader tells someone, look, we are not a colony of any country. We are a free, sovereign country where we have to safeguard our territorial integrity. And therefore, I am answerable to my people. This is what the President said at that meeting. I am answerable to my people. They have elected me. For you and the rest of the world, it may be news when something happens here. For us, it's agony. So let me finish this. I will only go home once I finish this. Those were emphatic words said by a leader. I am so proud to be sitting there at that meeting. The witnesses to this whole thing were, of course, the two foreign dignitaries. They are ambassadors here, Honorable Rohit Bogolagam, the Foreign Minister, Foreign Secretary Dr. Palitha Kohana, Shenu Kasenivaratna, who looks after the West, and then myself as Secretary to the President. Four of us were witness to this great event. And that is where the President made it sure and told the entire world, we are not a nation that can be pushed around. We have our own integrity. We have our own pride. We are not communities here. We are a nation. Whether it is Sinhala or Tamil, we are a nation. The President very clearly said this in his 19 May address to Parliament. Henceforth, there will be no group in this country called minorities. He has always stood by that.